Of all the conversations taking place on the internet, one in particular has made very little progress. This topic is one of the most subjective in society, and since everyone has a different take on it, no one can definitively argue that they are correct. I'm talking about religion. Religion has existed for thousands of years across the earth, and not much has done more to shape the world we live in more. Every culture has some sort of belief system that gives their lives meaning beyond the physical realm. Early humans used religion as a way to teach and learn, unite and divide, record time, and predict the future. Modern people, especially our generation, still do all of these things, but the source has shifted. We are able to use science, evidence, and experience to explain the universe around us. I believe that every culture that has existed in the last 5,000 years has had some sort of religion is because right and wrong must be defined. I was raised Roman Catholic, lived in a Jewish neighborhood, and learned in a predominantly Muslim school. I've known atheists, agnostics, Satanists, and deists. My best friend was Hindu, my girlfriend's Buddhist, and my cousins are Mormons. All of these faiths had one common trait. They defined what was good and bad. The reason this common characteristic is important is because the digital age generations are much more secular than the ones that came before, at least in America. The majority of youth no longer uses religion to rationalize morality, but rather decide for themselves based on thoughts and ideas shared on the internet. Never has a generation had access to so much information, and while definitely underused, we have been exposed to more information in our 2 decades than the entire lifespan of the generations who came before. Another reason young people have strayed away from organized religion is the exclusiveness most religions practice. The lack of flexibility of the church I was raised in forces a lot of people who want to be religious look elsewhere for that feeling of community, even though the first thing you learn about God is that He loves everyone equally. The point of this video is not to profess negative opinions or to offend anyone. The point is to explain why 60 million Americans have chosen a different path than their parents and grandparents. First is that Generation Y has had other ways to establish their belief system other than one sect of religion. The next is that Generation Y is the most accepting and inclusive demographic in American history. Now the third is a combination of the two. We have lived through tragedies caused by religious reasons. It is impossible to believe that any fair and loving God commands His followers to kill thousands of innocent people. Watching my city crippled on 9/11 for a senseless holy war is something I can never forget. It is very clear that the way I processed that day and the way my parents' generation did are very different. Most of my generation, however, understands that an entire faith isn't to blame for the acts of a few radicals, because we have come into contact with people and ideas from the majority. That is the last reason. We are forgiving. We don't preach it or encourage it. Our generation actually forgives, not for God, but for each other.